I'm Ashley Taylor with Ashley Taylor Portrait. I'm a portrait photographer and I also love mentoring photographers in their businesses. I often get asked how to make money with photography. How can you sell your photography? And to be honest, in the beginning, it seemed really easy, and it is easy to start making money if you have confidence, but the problem is actually making it profitable. A lot of times when you start out, and this was really me, you get a few $100s, and if you're not used to making a few $100s in maybe an hour or two, you think, wow, I'm going to be rich. But you don't think about all of the other time that goes into running a business. It's not just the photo shoot itself, it's all the time that goes into communicating about the photo shoot, planning the photo shoot, and of course, all the post-production on the images. So that can be a big shocker for people, and that's why a lot of photography businesses fail, is because they think they're making money, but they're actually not making a profit. So that comes to point number one, which is that you really have to figure out how to price yourself effectively and sustainably. And it can be quite a shocker when you try to do this. How do you figure out your prices? Well, you've got to look at the hours of time you are putting in to not just the session itself, but again, the post-production and the pre-production and all the communication. You also need to look at any hard costs that go into the work you're doing. Now, that can look very different for different businesses. If you're a wedding photographer, it might look like the gas that goes into driving to all the weddings and sessions, or the second shooter that you hire. For me, I have hair and makeup team that I have to pay for, retouching that I pay for. I also have products that are in my packages that I have to pay for. So whatever it is that you are selling, whatever type of photography it is, you do need to really sit down and think about all those costs that go into each session. And then you're going to need to multiply whatever that hard cost is by 3 to 5 times. And that can be a really shocking thing. When you factor in the labor that goes into the shoot and you factor in the hard costs and then you multiply it by 3 to 5, you might come up with a number that's much, much higher than you were thinking it was going to be. And that's when you have to practice saying your new prices effectively. Because the truth is, we cannot run a sustainable business if our prices aren't correct. And when we find that correct price, the thing that prevents us from doing better is the fear factor. Maybe you were charging $300, $400, $500. Now you realize you really need to be charging $1,500. That's a big leap, and you can get very nervous when you first start telling people that you've changed your prices to $1,500. I remember my voice used to get shaky and my lips used to quiver. So the best thing you can do is practice in the mirror over and over again. Call your friends, tell them your pricing, practice on them, do role playing until you get really confident saying it and it just rolls off the tongue like you were in any other store. And it's really great if when you're buying things, you go to stores and you watch how salespeople just say prices with no attachment. A lot of times salespeople don't have an attachment to the price of something because it's not really their work. You know, if someone works at Nordstrom and they're selling a $200 dress, they're just working at Nordstrom. They do make commission, but they really have no attachment to whether you buy that dress or not. So they say that price with ease, not like, oh God, it's a $200 dress for you to buy. So, you know, you need to have that same energy as the salespeople in other stores when you talk about selling your own photography. The last thing is you can always make more money, and a lot of times as photographers, we leave things on the table. So when you're looking at your packages and prices, you might notice that you have some packages that are more profitable than others. How can you make it so that people say yes to those most profitable packages very easily and simply? A lot of times you can just add something that's a very low cost on your end as the photographer to add to the session to make it so much more valuable to the client so that they will want to say yes. We see this everywhere as shoppers in life. Even McDonald's is so famous for, do you want to add fries with that? And I think it's one of those things where almost everyone says, yes, I want to add fries with that. And it's so simple, but for McDonald's, just having people add those fries takes their profit margin and inflates it so much. So we need to figure out where we can add the fries in our packages so our clients are just ready to say yes to our most profitable, juicy packages. I hope that this info was really helpful for you in getting started with selling your business and pricing yourself correctly. If you love this content, I would love if you would hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want more resources for photographers, please visit my website. The link is below, but it's also ashleytaylorportrait.com/photographers.